the primary, it is a sliver of the issues that we disagree with that get all the attention.
That was Governor Little just minutes after CBS News and the AP called the gubernatorial race in the Republican primary in his favor last night. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Up with Krem. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Now, like Tim just mentioned, both the AP and CBS have called the race for incumbent Brad Little. Now, statewide, Little is clearly in the lead with 53% of the vote, followed by Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeachin.
Well, through the evening, we watched Governor Little gain a substantial lead over current Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeachin. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is in the newsroom right now with more on Little's reaction to the win and if we've heard anything from McGeachin. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, Tim. So this was a historic race for the state of Idaho. For the first time since 1938, a lieutenant governor challenged the sitting governor of the same party. Now, both former President Trump and the Kootenai County GOP backed Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeachin. McGeachin has previously disagreed with Little over his response to the COVID-19 pandemic and actually tried to overturn his policies twice when he left the state. But Governor Little still had more votes pouring in for him last night. If you break down the votes by county, though, you can see the race was much closer in Kootenai County specifically. You can see Janice McGeachin there with that check mark next to her name. It looks like Kootenai County just finished up in the last hour counting their votes for the governor race. Lieutenant Governor McGeachin, excuse me, with 54% of the votes. Brad Little coming in second in Kootenai County at 39% of the votes. Again, though, Little has a big lead statewide. After officials called the race, Governor Little spoke at his watch party.
I'm truly humbled by the Idaho Republican Party and how they've entrusted me to continue to be your governor. Just like nearly every day in the last 3.5 years, I felt the honor of serving the great state of Idaho in good times and in tough times.
So Lieutenant Governor McGeachin has not conceded her race yet, but Governor Little will be the Republican candidate on the ballot in November and will likely serve another term as Idaho governor. In the newsroom, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Now taking a look at the Democratic candidates for the gubernatorial primary, Idaho has actually not elected a Democrat governor in 27 years. Currently, there is only one Democratic candidate on the ballot. His name is Stephen Haidt. Shelby Ronstadt, the mayor of Sandpoint, is running as a write-in candidate. As of right now, here's where things stand. Haidt has 80% of the vote, while the write-in category has 20% of the vote. Meanwhile, two Libertarian candidates are running for governor, Paul Sand and John Dion Jr. Right now, Sand in the lead with 60% of the vote. Dion Jr. trails with 40% of the vote. So now we are taking a look at the lieutenant governor race.
So like we mentioned, since Janice McGeachin is running for governor, there actually won't be an incumbent in this race on the Republican side. So taking a look now at those Republican candidates, there are only 3 that are running. They include Scott Bedke, Daniel Gasorowski, and Priscilla Giddings. So those are the 3 that are running for the Republican side. On the Democratic side, there's actually only one candidate that is running for Democrat lieutenant governor. That's Terry Pickens Manueller. They are running uncontested, so we'll be keeping an update on that as well. Now, in the meantime, right now, the Kootenai County Elections Office is currently counting votes as we speak. You're taking a live look at their stream right now, where you can see in the top left-hand corner of your screen that elections employees are still working tirelessly, like they've been working all night long, counting ballots. The Elections Office says that they do this live stream every election just to ensure transparency and, of course, to build trust in the voting system. Now, the polls of course closed last night, but election workers are still counting every single ballot.
That's right. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley at the Kootenai County election headquarters with more on the counting process.
Well, these are the last few cars coming in from all over Kootenai County, bringing in your ballots to get counted right here at the Kootenai County Elections Office. And the elections clerk takes the security of your ballot very seriously, and his office has taken steps to protect your vote. For example, 2 people must be with the ballot at all times. So when polls closed at 8, 2 people, which include Kootenai County Sheriff's deputies, they picked up the ballots, brought them here to the elections office. Now, as they bring in these ballots, they'll get counted, right? And you can watch staff through the whole ballot counting process on the county's live stream. It's a 24/7 live stream that is going on right now. You can check out that link on the Kootenai County Elections website. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
For all the latest election results and information, you can text the word VOTE to the number 509-448-2000. We'll send a link with all those results right to your phone.
And now to weather on this Wednesday morning, where the winds are swirling around from our outdoor weather center. Not too terribly strong as of the current hour, but expecting those winds to be much more feisty by the afternoon today. And that's where we begin here with wind advisories and blowing dust advisories that kick in later today and last through 9 and 10 o'clock this evening, respectively. Some wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. And yes, some blowing dust and reduced visibility, perhaps a result of these stronger winds. Right now, it's just a 10-mile-per-hour sustained wind, but starting to get a little bit, maybe a little bit unsettled in terms of the wind speeds. Cloudy skies, 46 degrees right now, with a bit of light rain across central Washington. This is actually the first push of our incoming storm system. So light rain between Moses Lake, Othello, and just getting into the Ritzville area right now. You can see that extending into northern Washington. While this is the first push of rain, the winds are going to come in behind that rainfall later on today. So I'm tracking just when those strongest wind speeds will be felt for today and how long we'll be dealing with this inconvenient weather. Your forecast is in just a few minutes.
Time now for your morning rush. More news in less time. 2 people are safe this morning after being pulled out of the Spokane River by the Spokane Fire Department. Water rescue crews were called to the area below the Monroe Street Bridge after a raft overturned yesterday. The boat belonged to 2 people who were doing research on the river. The boat overturned when the equipment got snagged because of the high flow of the river. The department is reminding people not to boat on the river right now because it is flowing too high and too fast. Well, free coffee is back on the road. The Washington State Department of Transportation is relaunching its Safety Rest Area free coffee program this Friday. The pandemic caused the program to get put on hold. It promotes safe highways to drivers by providing coffee to reduce drowsy driving. Some areas that offer the program are the US 195 rest area in Colfax and the Sprague Lake rest area in Davenport. The Gonzaga women's rowing team is bound for the NCAA championship. The seeding was announced yesterday. GU's varsity 8 and second varsity boats are both seeded 18th, while the varsity 4 boat is seeded 20th. 22 teams overall made the event. The championship will take place May 27th and 29th in Sarasota, Florida, and that's a look at your morning rush. A Spokane nonprofit is making a big promise to future high school seniors.
The Inovia Foundation announced Launch Northwest. Now, this is a program that would actually pay for the college tuition of every Inland Northwest student, starting with the class of 2024. Now, as of right now, the only program requirement is filling out the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA. The foundation's vision is to provide an opportunity for students and their families.
We want to make sure that our young people have identified a pathway to their post-secondary success and that we've broken down the barriers along that pathway for them to get there.
A combined $7.5 million have been allocated to the program. Inovia says their goal is to be ready to provide funding starting with the class of 2024. Well, Idaho is not the only state holding a primary election. Coming up in Daily Checklist, we're taking a look at some of the other states looking to elect a new or an incumbent governor.
Time for your wake-up call. Today marks 42 years since the Mount St. Helens eruption. This morning, we want to share some of your memories or your stories of that historic day. Here's some of the great responses that we've received already. Someone wrote in and said that they were in the Air Force in Rapid City and saw some of the ash. Someone else said that they were a teenager living in Bonners Ferry. And then someone even thought it was a thunderstorm when it happened in Cle Elum. So a lot of memories from that day, even a picture of some ash there. You can send in any pictures or memories to 509-448-2000. In the meantime, before we go to break, here is more election results.